Hey, hey, it's the 1st of May. Hey, everybody, it is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is Tuesday, May 1st, 2018. Thanks for starting your workday. Thanks for starting your new month with us here on the NCW Life channel. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. That lower third tells you that is Steve Harrod, our beloved and award-winning news director who specializes in telling other people what to do, and Kat is in control.
Where's our maypole?
Where is your maypole?
Where is our maypole?
It's in beautiful downtown Leavenworth.
There it is. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it is May Day. We got a great show for you today. Lots going on. Steve has the news. Lots of things going on in the world of news. Of course, Apple Blossom, the big week, is now well underway with more and more events getting closer and closer to the big event, the Stimel Growers Grand Parade, Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Which reminds me, do you remember when you've been here for quite some time?
Oh, yeah.
The Grand Parade used to begin at 10 a.m. back in the day.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. They used to have it'd be 125 entries. And
well, plus they had, what, 10, 12 royalty?
Yeah, back in those days.
Back in the day.
Yeah, but they moved it later into the day till 11 a.m., which is, I am all for that. They got the golf tournament. Tomorrow is the big all-service club lunch. There's a lot going on over the next few days. So.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Check out that app, by the way.
Oh, it's working great, and especially coupons. There's coupons for food fair vendors on the app. Download the app. Just go to the App Store, and it's right there. Just type in Washington State Apple Blossom Festival or Apple Blossom Festival, and it's a handy tool.
You can talk directly to Alex Haley or something with that thing?
No.
Is that right? No.
I had a great interview with Alex O yesterday, the commissioner of the beer garden. I went up and said hi to him.
Commissioner of the beer garden.
That's what we call him anyway. So great show for today. Second half of the show, Matt Wisen, local celebrity, will be joining us for a very, very good reason. There's one point, and it's usually fairly early on in the Stimel Growers Grand Parade, the Fallen Heroes entry, and you've seen this. These are the men and women who gave their lives, literally gave their lives in military service, and they have a large contingent that walks down the parade, and we'll show you the footage, and they have the large placards and the photo and the dates of their birth and their death and the branch of service they were in and all that stuff. It's called the Fallen Heroes Project. It's been going on for quite some time, and they need volunteers to carry those banners for the Stimel Growers Grand Parade.
Yeah.
And Matt is the local coordinator of that, so we'll talk to Matt. And other cool things, you're familiar with Matt Wisen. He's our soccer expert. He does the color commentary when we do soccer broadcasts here.
He was also involved with the bond measures.
Yeah, he was also on the facilities committee. We got a lot to talk about with Matt Wisen, local celebrity, second half of the show. I got your weather forecast. It's a beauty.
Boy, look at that. Look at that scene. Isn't that more like it?
Yeah, it looks great. In fact, get out of the way, Steve, so we can look at the valley. We got the weather forecast. We got sports. We have the obscure holiday today in history. Birthdays, a couple of special birthdays to pass along to you today. Everyone is entitled to Mike Benatti's opinion. You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Around the valley we go. Our Valley View cameras.
And that's the valley that I have grown to love.
It is the valley that you have grown to love. Yes, the river is high. In fact, before we go any further, I want a quick heads up. The Okanagan River near Tenasket, Steve, they're keeping an eye on this.
Flood stage.
The bank full stage is at 14 feet. This is what it would be. The flood stage is 15 feet. Yesterday they measured it at 13.9 feet. So basically the Okanagan River near Tenasket is full and is forecast to remain right about bank full through the week, but then the river is forecast to rise above flood stage late Friday. They think it could get up to 17 feet, which is 2 feet above flood stage. Again, this is the Okanagan River near Tenasket.
Now, Chelan County PUD got an update yesterday on their snowpack up in the Lakes land drainage, and they found out yesterday that it's running at about 113% of normal.
That's good.
So that's really good news.
That's really good. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Good to see you. Stay close for that weather forecast. All of these cameras, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi High-Speed Wireless. Camera 2 is selected by Kat.
Oh.
Is wow. Holy moly. Is that Monument? Turned, Kat?
It's Badger.
That's Badger Mountain.
Looking out across the Waterville Plain.
Yeah, the amber waves of grain.
Isn't that something?
Oh, America. That's a cool shot. Because normally Badger, we have it turned towards the valley. We have it turned up towards
Waterville.
Waterville.
I see some vehicles there in the distance.
Yeah. Wow.
Driving into Waterville there. Hey, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I suppose that's wheat. Is that wheat getting going?
That's right.
I'm just guessing. I'm spitballing, but that's what it looks
sure
like.
Smells sweet.
Yes, it does. Especially when the wind comes right behind the rain,
right,
Steve.
yeah,
It really does. Yeah. Camera 3, as chosen by Kat, our producer, says Appalantes.
Look at the green hills. My gosh,
Look
it's
at
beautiful. Looks like velvet.
Yep. You can see the Wenatchee River. I think well, you can't quite make out the irrigation ditch, which flows kind of alongside the Wenatchee River for a while. Beautiful downtown Kashmir.
The back side of that picture, there's a place stamp here.
Yeah.
A little postcard.
Farther up that photo, you see the Dryden area and the Peshastin area and all the way into the Cascade Mountains. Good morning, Kashmir, from our camera high above the Apple Annie's Complex. And finally, camera 4. Kat says, let's go to Billy Goat. Wow, look at that. They've got a few more clouds
It's
up there.
almost heavenly, doesn't it?
It is. Almost heaven, Billy Goat.
Very surreal shot there.
Beautiful shot.
Sun streaming through the clouds there. Look at the rays of sunshine there.
Let's
Gosh,
cancel the rest of the show and just do
oh,
that. So
very artistic.
nice
Kat.
call, Kat.
Nicely done.
Well done. Boy, that's just beautiful. Billy Goat, way up there. That's our highest camera, 6,800 feet above sea level. That's way up there. That's why we can see Canada on a clear day. You can see forever. You really can. Robert Goulet will tell you all about it. All right, 6 minutes after the hour on this May Day, Tuesday. Check out this forecast and get ready to smile, kids. Now, you see Saturday and Sunday, Stomach Growers Grand Parade, the big weekend. It's cool, partly sunny, you know, just a little cloud here and there. Outside of that, I got no complaints at all, Steve.
The clouds, a little tropical almost, you know.
I'm going to quote from the National Weather Service. This is their forecast discussion, Steve. The overall symptotic pattern includes a positively tilted trough over the western U.S. The inland northwest is on the backside of the trough under a northerly flow. A short wave is dropping out of British Columbia, moving along at 115 KT jet. So the added dynamics will make for more active weather over the weekend. I have no idea what any of that means.
I like it when you talk like that.
I know. There it is, looking good. By the way, you see Thursday, you see 81. We have not hit 80 yet this year. We haven't done it. Seattle has. Other places have. We haven't. But Thursday looks good. I have no complaints at all with that forecast. And you always like to talk about the wind this time of the year, Steve. Nothing. A little breeze here and there for the weekend. Zero wind.
Dusty yesterday.
It did. It kind of was a bit of a surprise. But we're looking at winds 5 to 7 miles an hour. Most of it light and variable. So we're fine. Looking good there.
Flowers are starting to bloom.
Yeah. Boy, my tree took off in my front yard. It kind of sat there going, and then just in the last 10 days, whoom, it just exploded with greenery and it looks beautiful.
Speaking of which, Green Thumbs and Dirty Knees is coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll be doing some best of episodes coming up with my good friend Bonnie. I got to get her on the show. Bonnie, you're watching. I know you're watching, even though she doesn't have a television. I'll get you on the show, Bonnie, I promise. One of my favorite people. 7 minutes after the hour. This guy to my left is one of my favorite people. His job is to fill your head with information, and he will do just that in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, May 1st edition, and we're live here from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Honda makes jets, robots, lawnmowers, motorcycles, boat motors. They're so well known and have a history of making quality machines and engines that's why we're willing to put on our automobiles a lifetime warranty. You know, some manufacturers, if they put this warranty on their vehicles, they'd lose money. Not with Honda. If you're betting against a Honda, you're a bad gambler. They're really well known for winning. My name is David Gonzalez, and I'm a product specialist at Apple Valley Honda.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome to a Tuesday, May 1st. Here's what's happening around at north central Washington, some of the stories we're following. Chelan County PUD has closed a portion of the Chelan Gorge as a safety precaution due to recent rock slides that have created some unstable slope activity there. Commissioners were briefed on that situation at their Monday afternoon meeting here in Wenatchee. It was reported that the slope along 1,200 feet of Reach 2 in the gorge is being closely monitored. One location is a known area of ground movement. PUD has been watching that area for more than 25 years with little activity. It's located about 750 feet from the Gorge Road. A second site, as you can see here in our image here, is a more recent movement area. It was discovered by PUD employees who were scouting that area with Chelan area residents to identify potential locations for extending the Reach 1 trail. Now, Bill Crispin, the PUD's chief dam safety engineer, said PUD staff has determined that this new location seems to be more active than the first Site A.
This smallish area that we observed for a long time continues to move. It's got a depth of maybe 10 or 20 or 30 feet, depending on where in that area we refer to. So it's not by any means a deep-seated rotational failure like the OSO event experienced. It's a superficial, relatively shallow ground mobilization that is natural, and we're now observing it out in that area. And that's a pretty fresh feature. It's likely, we think, that material will come off of this area like that relatively smallish fresh feature. It's possible that an entire 1,200 foot length or so could come off at one time, given a really severe rainstorm or a seismic event. And if that happens, then there's a potential that there'd be a temporary earth dam in the gorge, and we'd need to evaluate whether to shut off spill for a short period of time, increase spill. It really depends on the character of the failure, if it ever occurs in a big way.
Now, responding to the situation, the PUD is now contracting with a geotechnical firm to help with that assessment. Staff and the consulting engineers will look at what might occur if an earthen dam resulted from a large rockfall. Also to be studied is what impact an earthen dam would have on hydro operations downstream, as well as conditions further downriver there. The area is being closed off to public access, and signs will be set up to make the public aware of the potential hazard. We have a lot more on that story by logging on to ncwlife.com, our website. Elsewhere, there's another scam making the rounds here in the Wenatchee Valley. Recently, a city employee received a call that showed her own phone number on the caller ID. When she answered, the caller claimed to be from her mobile phone service provider. They asked for her social security number. Obvious scam here. If you receive such a call, just hang up like that city employee did. A quick search online showed that this scam became common in the fall of 2017 in places all over the country, so don't fall for it. If they ask you for your social security number, just hang up. A large truck carrying apple bins crashed into the Columbia River yesterday morning near Turtle Rock in Douglas County. Washington State Patrol Trooper Brian Moore says it happened around 4 in the morning just off Highway 97A.
Upon arriving on scene, the driver stated that he swerved for a deer. It is still under investigation. However, it was determined that the pup trailer hauling apple bins was in the Columbia River with a load of apple bins. The apple bins were empty. We had the right westbound or south bound lane closed for several hours this morning as Washington State Patrol and Washington State Department of Transportation worked on removing that trailer and those apple bins. They have since been removed. However, Washington State Department of Transportation has some pretty extensive guardrail work. We have about 37 sections of guardrail and 67 guardrail posts that are going to need to be fixed. So they will be out there working on that. What we're asking drivers is if you see State Patrol or Washington State Department of Transportation out on the highways working, slow down and move over. We don't want to see one of our emergency workers hit.
Luckily, the driver in that accident was not injured, according to Moore. Also, Day Drive Trailhead at the foot of Sage Hills Trail will be closed today for neighborhood construction. Trail users are asked to park at the corner of 5th Street and Sage Hills Drive or at the end of Maiden Lane. Other area road projects around Chelan County this week include crack sealing, 2018 preservation roads in Wenatchee and Cashmere. Crews will also be spring grading dirt roads and brooming shoulders on upper routes in Leavenworth. Motorists can expect minor delays at times with one-lane flagger-controlled traffic in those construction zones, so be aware of that. Also, on the business front, Port of Chelan County has found a tenant for its new business incubator space at the Pybus Public Market. Seattle-based technology company Subsplash will lease the entire 1,900 square feet of the upper floor of the conference room at the Pybus. Subsplash is a leader in mobile technology for churches, according to its website. Phil Goodman is the company's director of people operations. He said the mobile technology company has been looking for the right opportunity to plant roots right here in the Wenatchee Valley.
We are thrilled to be in the Wenatchee Valley. We've been looking at spaces now for, the last 6 to 9 months here. And our company has had a long history in Wenatchee as well. So really excited to have an official office over there. We're just really excited to be working with the port. I think the incubator space, just in general, even after we leave, will provide a lot of opportunity for growth in the Valley. Really excited for not only our company, but just the Valley and just this win that you guys are having with this incubator space at the market. Couldn't ask for a better location than being just steps away from all the shops there and the river and all the amenities in downtown.
Now, Tim Turner founded Subsplash in 2009. He's been building that company with his wife and co-owner Christy Turner, who grew up in the East Wenatchee area. Subsplash plans to hire 15 to 20 new employees in that new facility at the Pybus Incubator. Now they're hiring now, looking for talented individuals with a variety of skills to join their team. For more information, you can find it at their website at subsplash.com/careers. And finally, fans of fantasy and history gathered at the Chelan County Expo Center this weekend for the Two Rivers Medieval Fair. This is the second year that the fair has been held at the Cashmere Fairgrounds after it was moved from Wenatchee Valley College.
The Two Rivers Medieval Fair took place last Saturday and Sunday at the Chelan County Expo Center in Cashmere.
It's a lot of fun and fantasy with some education added in. And we have a lot of people who are interested in the history of the Renaissance period, of the medieval period. They get interested in, of course, the combat, obviously, the jousting. They get interested in food, in arts and crafts, garments, just the history itself. And then we go through and we add our fantasy with the fairy glen, our gnometographers. We have 2 gnomes wandering around. And then all of our fantastic merchants that have an amazing variety of wares. Some are all handmade, some are, purchased and embellished. But essentially, that's it. We just bring the past alive with a bit of fun mixed in. We love the college. They were great, but part of their policy is that if you have an event on the college grounds, you need a sponsoring club. Our club was no more, so we split last year, and it was just one of those things, just a policy issue. But we found this amazing venue out here at the fairgrounds, and they've been fantastic. And the view couldn't be better.
Was that before or after the bubonic plague? I don't know.
It's kind of cool to step back in time and lose yourself.
My son and his little family went up there. They just had a great time. My little 2-year-old granddaughter, her little fairy wings, was having a lot of fun. Yeah. So yeah, that's a great event. And
thank you for helping me out on this whole phone scan thing, because we actually talked about this in the bullpen a couple of days ago. That happened on my phone over the weekend. Over the weekend, I'm sitting there watching my Yankees play baseball and win again, and my phone rang, and I picked it up and I go, that's my phone number. Mm-hmm. And I didn't answer it. I said, I'm going to find out what's going on, so I let it go all the way to voicemail, and there was no voicemail. Course, yeah. And then about 45 minutes later, it happened again. So this time I thought, well, I'm going to answer it, just because how's my phone calling myself? And
got the spiel? You got the pitch?
I did. Yeah. I did not give them my Social Security number. Thank you very much. I gave them yours.
Oh, thank you very much.
And your credit card number too.
Yeah. Well,
so
you know what they say? Pay it forward.
We got a busy day today. We're going to be out there with a couple of sports broadcasts I want to let you know about. Wenatchee and Eastmont. This is the last week of the regular season for all the local high school sports before they go into postseason. This tells you how quick the spring has gone. Wenatchee and Eastmont will do battle at Dan White Field. We're going to be there. The game begins at 4. We're going to air it. The game begins at 5. We're going to air it at 7 tonight. Baseball, high school baseball. And also Grant Olson and myself will be at Walla Walla Point Park to do the Wenatchee Eastmont girls softball game, which will be going out at the same time. Both of those will be airing on a tape-delayed basis, believe it or not. So we're almost into...
What are the playoff implications?
Yeah, lots going on. And anytime Eastmont and Wenatchee play each other, it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, absolutely.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights, yeah. The news with Grant Olson is a little program we're quite proud of. It's a nice little half-hour package to fill you in with everything you needed to know while you're out and about doing whatever it is you're doing. On this Tuesday, May 1st, Grant Olson does the honors. Eric Granstrom handles sports, and you can watch it at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The news right here on this very television station in high definition. And also, of course, it's a great tool. Our website is to watch it on demand, too. Late afternoon, early evening is when we get it posted. And that's a quick little preview of sports.
Ooh.
Yeah. But please get a hold of us anytime you need to find out what's going on, or you want to give us a little update on things, or you just want to say hi. You see what we have there. It's called the lower third in TV talk, and Steve will fill in the blank with his mellifluous voice.
Real simple, folks. We always want to hear from you, whether it's just want to comment on what we're broadcasting here, or let us know about what activities are taking place around the valley. Let us know about the news here on NCW Life on our website. Contact us. Just click the tab at the top of the page and talk to us that way at ncwlife.com. Contact us on our social media through Facebook and Twitter. Also, our email address, which is preferable, I guess.
Yeah, because a bunch of people get it. If you send it to news at ncwlife.com,
that's
the
our
whole
general
group of us
mailbox.
get it.
That's right. And then also our hotline for breaking news. Call us at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295 for the NCW Life hotline.
And if you want to comment on this show or any other show, please limit your comments to unqualified praise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a good idea. 22 minutes after the hour. Sports, the Obscura holiday. Today in history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And local celebrity Matt Wisen still to be had between now and 8 o'clock on this live edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel. Your home for the 2018 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life channel. Be sure to watch the Kais Fiber Youth Parade Saturday, April 28th, the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Friday, May 4th, and the Stem Milk Growers Grand Parade Saturday, May 5th, right here. Brought to you by Merry Maids. Relax, it's done. And by Schmidt Electric, serving the West since 1960. Your home for the 2018 Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your stoke?
Mostly clear skies, 47 degrees, going to top off into the 70s for the next couple of days with quite a bit of sunshine, lower 80s by Thursday, and a very pleasant Apple Blossom weekend coming your way. Let's do sports. I am Dan Koontz. Happy May Day. The Wenatchee Wild are in the outskirts of Edmonton, Alberta. It's about an 800-mile bus ride, and they're getting ready for Game 3 of the Doyle Cup against Spruce Grove. It is tonight. 2 wins at home, of course, over the weekend, 3-2 in overtime on Friday, and the Wild shut them out 3-0 on Saturday. So the Wild leave the best-of-7 series, of course, 2 games to none. But the Saints are good. They won a championship. Bad teams don't win championship. They've only lost 4 games on their home ice, the Grant Fuhrer Arena. So yeah, the Wild will have their hands full this week in Spruce Grove. There are any number of ways you can take in the game. You can listen to our Checker's Call on the radio, Sunny FM. You can subscribe to hockeytv.com and watch it at home, or head on down to Columbia Valley Brewing. They're going to have a big watching party, and you can watch it along the Wild Faithful Columbia Valley Brewing at the bottom of 5th Street along the river. So, a few scores to pass along to the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard we go. In baseball, Waterville Mansfield split a doubleheader with Tenasket. They lost the first game 4-0, but as you see, they came back to win the nightcap 11-9. In soccer, Kashmir blanked Omak 1-0. In golf, Wenatchee was second and Eastmont third in the Big Nine boys pod. That was the 6th number pod down at the Apple Tree Golf Course outside of Yakima. West Valley won that, by the way. And in the girls' Big Nine pod, number 6 yesterday, Wenatchee took first, Davis second, Eastmont third. That was contested at the Moses Lake Country Club. Here's your prep schedule for today. Kashmir will host Omak in baseball. 4:30 first pitch. Chelan will play at Okanagan. Waterville Mansfield travels to Lake Roosevelt. And Manson will host Pateros also at 4:30. Wenatchee will play Eastmont at Dan White Field. First pitch at 5 o'clock is one single game. Eric Grandstrom will be there with cameras on hand. We will shoot it and we'll air it tonight at 7 right here on the NCW Live channel. That's baseball. Let's talk softball. Eastmont plays at Wenatchee at 4. Walla Walla Point Park. Grant Olson and myself will be there. We'll record the action. We'll air that tomorrow night at 8. Right here on the NCW Live channel. Also today, again, this is girls softball we're talking about. Chelan hosts Okanagan. Omak is at Kashmir. Waterville Mansfield travels to Lake Roosevelt. Those games will all get going at 4:30. How about soccer? The beautiful game. Okanagan will host Kashmir at 4. Cascade is at Chelan at 4:30. Eastmont will host Eisenhower tonight at 7. Very busy tennis schedule today. Eastmont will host Sunnyside, and Wenatchee is at Moses Lake. That's at 3 o'clock. Chelan travels to Okanagan, and Kashmir is at Omak at 4. On the track today, Bridgeport will host Aniet, Manson, Chelan, and Cascade at 3:30. And in golf, Chelan has a 9 a.m. tee time at the Suncadia Golf Course. Well, that's a beautiful course. They'll take on Cle Elum, and Cascade will host Warden this afternoon. That's at the Leavenworth Golf Club, also at 2:30. Our broadcast schedule for the week looks like this. It starts tonight again. Wenatchee Eastmont baseball. The game is at 5. We'll televise it at 7 tonight. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, it's Eastmont and Wenatchee doing battle in softball. Hockey night Thursday features Game 1 of the Doyle Cup between Wenatchee and Spruce Grove. That'll be at 7 o'clock on Friday. We're skipping sports, getting right to the Les Schwab Class C Chassis Parade. All the great cars rolling down Grant Road. We'll get going at 6:30. Grant Olson and Brent Crowder will be your hosts. And finally, the Mariners. They didn't play yesterday. They get a 3-game home series with Oakland tonight at Safeco Field. Kings Court will be in session. Felix Hernandez starts for Seattle. Andrew Triggs will go for the A's. The M's are 16-11 on the year. They're in second behind the Houston in the American League West. By the way, the Astros beat my Yankees yesterday 2-1. So New York's 9-game winning streak is over, but I'm okay because hey, it's the 1st of May. On the first day of every month, we begin our obscure holiday with what the month is. So the month of May, and this is the monthly deals. Get ready for this. It's Date Your Mate Month. May is Foster Care Month, Gifts from the Garden Month, Lupus Awareness Month, National Barbecue Month, National Bike Month, National Blood Pressure Month, National Hamburger Month, National Photograph Month, National Recommitment Month, National Salad Month, and Older Americans Month. It's also May Day, and that's the obscure holiday of the day today. It's not obscure. Everybody's familiar with May Day. Almost all of it, May Day, of course, is union related. The first real organized May Day happened back in 1904 when the International Socialist Congress called on all trade unions of all countries to demonstrate on May 1st to fight for the establishment of the 8-hour work day. In a lot of locations all over the world, it is sometimes known as Workers' Day. In many places, it is Labor Day. Our Labor Day, of course, is in September in the United States, but all over the world, this is considered Labor Day for many, many people. It's also known as Workers' Day. It's celebrated essentially worldwide. It's also, of course, the focal point of demonstrations all over the world, including probably a few demonstrations in Seattle. I wouldn't be surprised. Happy May Day. Hey, the 1st of May. And Today in History comes your way 29 minutes after the hour. Happy 87th birthday to the Empire State Building, an iconic structure. The Empire State Building was dedicated May 1st, 1931, 87 years ago today. For 42 years, it was the tallest skyscraper in the world. That's a long time. It was surpassed by the North Tower of the World Trade Center in October of 1970. The Empire State Building used to be the host of just about every radio and television station in the greater New York City area. Then they moved all of their antennas and their broadcasting equipment to the World Trade Center. When the towers fell, they went back to the Empire State Building. In fact, 12 TV and 19 radio stations, 12 television and 19 radio stations have their transmitters on the mast of the Empire State Building. There are 2 observation decks. I've been on them both, the 86th and the 102nd floors. They're the most popular observation decks in New York City, more popular than Rockefeller Center or One World Trade Center. In fact, the company that owns the Empire State Building, they make more money from tourists going to the observation decks every year than they do collecting rent from tenants. believe it or not. The Empire State Building is 87 years old today. North Korea is 70 years old today. North Korea is 70 years old today. Kim Il-sung I was established as its leader. Some interesting facts about North Korea, which has been in the news quite a bit. Population in North Korea, a little over 25 million people, but there are 9,495,000 active reserve and paramilitary personnel in Korea. That makes them the largest army in the world, believe it or not. In fact, its active duty army of 1.2 million is the fourth largest in the world for a country whose population is only 25 million. Something to think about. Small country, big army. And finally, happy birthday to Amtrak. 47 years ago today, Amtrak went into business. The National Railroad Passenger Corporation takes over passengers operation of all U.S. passenger rail service. There was about 20 railroad companies that offered passenger service before Amtrak. They all said, okay, well, we can't make money off of it, so Amtrak kind of took it all over. Amtrak was designed to fail. Everybody who was involved in Amtrak said it's going to be, passenger rail is dead, it's never going to work, but we'll give it one last chance and we'll see what happens. Of course, Amtrak did not fail. In fact, Amtrak ridership has increased every year since it's first full year of operation. About 32 million people ride Amtrak every year. Amtrak is 47 years old today. And finally, speaking of years old today, let's do some birthdays. Kate Smith, the First Lady of Radio, the American singer, known, of course, will always be known for her rendition of Irving Berlin's classic God Bless America. She had a 5-decade-long career in radio, television, and recording. Was probably the most popular artist of the 1940s. She was known as the Songbird of the South, the legendary Kate Smith. One time she did a concert for King George VI of the United Kingdom and his wife Queen Elizabeth in 1939, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, "Your Royal Highness, this is Kate Smith. Kate Smith is America." Kate Smith, born in this state in 1907, passed away at the age of 79 back in 1986. Jack Parr, born in this state in 1918, passed away in 2004 at the age of 84. Of course, he was the second host of The Tonight Show after Steve Allen, and he preceded Johnny Carson. He was the host of The Tonight Show from 1957 to 1962 in a completely different format. You wouldn't even recognize it today. Jack Parr, one of my favorite interviewers, born in the state of 1918. And yep, got some Coots family members. Michael David Coots, there's Mike and his lovely wife, Kay. Michael is 62 years old today. That photo was taken just last weekend in Ephrata, I believe. Happy 62nd birthday to my brother Mike. We all love you. And his daughter and my niece, Rachel, is 33 years old today. There's Rachel and Zach, two of my favorite people. Happy 62nd to Mike. Happy 33rd to Rachie Roo. Rachel Kuntz is 33 years old today. When did I get old? Speaking of 33, it's 33 minutes after the hour on this May Day edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. And then local celebrity Matt Wisen talking about the Fallen Heroes entry in the Apple Blossom Grand Parade, the Smoke Rose Parade this Saturday, and other cool things with Matthew. He's right around the corner on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, May 1st edition on the NCW Life Channel.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Localtel. Rugrat Nation 3-on-3 basketball tournament is May 5th from 2 to 6 at Pybus. The public is invited to watch this tournament specifically for kids grades K to 3. Pybus Art Lovers Sunday is May 6th from 10 to 4. Meet and visit local artists and watch them practice their craft. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas. And introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniac. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
For plumbing, heating, or cooling repair, Patriot will be right there.
Don't wait till your equipment breaks. This Lennox dealer can help.
Keep your home comfort system running smoothly with regular checkups from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
to $1,700 in rebates or special financing.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Join me for Life with Lisa Bradshaw on NCW Life. It's not about my life, it's about yours.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I recently read a book, Psycho USA, by a guy named Harold Schechter. This book discusses real but little-known American serial killers from the period of 1782 to 1961. Now, although the term serial killer didn't come into vogue until the 1960s, Schechter presents case after case which shows that serial killers have been a part of American society ever since our beginning. Now, Schechter suggests that although firearms have made the murder of multiple individuals more efficient, serial killers of our past have simply used whatever the current technology of their time at hand was, such as hatchets, which seem to have been very popular to commit their multiple murders. Schechter argues convincingly that there are individuals committing these acts that were responsible for the crimes they were committed, not the tools they used. Now, I'd have to say, I agree. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
That's pretty much it. It's a great house, great neighborhood. It's great.
Sam's still getting used to the idea of moving.
Sam, you play basketball?
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Now I'm thinking, you put your hoop right here, and you even got enough room for a three-point line. One of the things I've noticed is that if you got a hoop in your driveway, you make friends real fast.
At Coldwell Banker Levine, our agents don't just understand real estate, they understand what home is all about.
The GS Long Hill on Hooves Rough Stock Rodeo Friday and Saturday night, May 11th and 12th, presented by Northwest Farm Credit Services. It's a rough stock rodeo. The action starts at 6 p.m. and the rodeo starts at 7:30 p.m. Gigawatt presents Mutton Bustin' and a Mechanical Bull, and don't miss a pony ride sponsored by McDonald's. The Rodeo Law Firm Mexican Dancing Horses are always a crowd favorite. For those with ice water running through their veins, it's Bull Poker, sponsored by Rimmer and Reuter. Tickets on sale now at towntoyotacenter.com.
Ready Medi is healthcare made simple and affordable. Hi, this is Carl Lambert with Ready Medi Integrative Clinic, and I'm here today with my friend Carrie Condata. Carrie, tell us about your experience with the Ready Medi Clinic.
Well, it's Carrie Condata 2.0, 40 pounds lighter in just 4 months. And the fact is, it all started at Ready Medi with their wellness model. You can do this too, but start it right at the Ready Medi Clinic with my only provider for the last 20 years, Carl Lambert.
Hey, thank you. Ready Medi, healthcare made simple and affordable.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
We're back at 39 minutes after the hour. Two of my favorite people when it comes to soccer knowledge and soccer calling, our Sebastian Moraga and his partner when we do Wenatchee High School and Eastmont High School games. Sebastian couldn't make it, but I got Matt Wisen on. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Hi, Matthew.
Hello, good morning.
It's good to see you. Matt's our local celebrity. He's our local soccer expert. I got to know Matt via a mutual friend of ours, John Connor, from a couple of years ago when John came in from KW3 and he did a soccer game for me. And I said, you have a color guy? And he's got this Matt Wisen guy who seems to know what he's talking about. And you've been part of our television family ever since.
Yeah, that was fun back then. Still is fun.
Yeah.
But I remember John giving me a ring, and we used to always go on these long, endless debates about the Sounders or EPL or whatever. And it's fun to watch local.
And we got good soccer players here.
Great
We'll talk
soccer,
about that.
yeah.
We got a lot of different things to talk about with Matt. You have, real quickly, you got a new office. You're part of Matt works for the DOT, Department of Transportation. You're an ecologist? Help me out.
Biologist.
Biologist, thank you. And you used to work on that old dilapidated building that's now vacant on North Wenatchee Avenue. And then you moved out to Old Station, and you moved back to your old building. But now you got a brand new office.
Yeah, I've been all back and forth a lot. That old building was great. It had a lot of character, but it had a lot of oldness to it, and a lot of funky things that weren't working quite right. The new building's great. It's big, airy, great lighting, and things work. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice when things work, doesn't it? And you got a nice office, nice view, I suppose. There's a lot of.
Yeah, we can see the mountains. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I did actually have a window at my old office, which was nice. But the views changed a little bit and a little more airy. We can see more part of the valley, which is great.
Yeah. Enough of this nonsense. Let's get on to some serious stuff, and we have to address the elephant in the room. Matt was on the facilities committee that was put together to decide what to do about an aging and rapidly aging Wenatchee High School. You were part of that committee, and you were part of the group that said this is what we want to do: the $120 million bond renovate and fix up Wenatchee High School. And a week ago today, the voters said yes, but they said no. You didn't hit the threshold. You didn't get the 60% yes, and you didn't get the 40% turnout. Your reaction to that?
Obviously disappointed. We spent a lot of time working on that. And it's hard not to see people go out and vote. I guess when I was younger, I kind of took voting for granted, but not anymore. You really need to get out, especially if you have lots of complaints. It seems like a lot of people complain about a ton of things, but they never go out and vote. So the bond, we thought we put together a really good package. It's expensive. And without really talking to a lot of people face to face, they did a lot of face to face, but apparently not enough. And I don't know why it failed, but 43% of the people that voted decided to say no. And so we've got to go back to the drawing board a little bit and find out what happened and what we can do to address the situation. It's got to happen. That building's going to go south in a hurry.
Do you have any idea, has the facilities committee met since then, or have you talked to any of the leaders of this bond to have any idea what the next plan is? Because the problems, as Matt just said, is not going to go away.
I have not met with the committee yet. I think a few of the people have. I think they're probably trying to gather some of the input, why people said no, and bounce things around and see what happens. I personally would like to see them go back out with the same bond. I thought we put together a great package. It's explaining why and what it is. The $120 million is a lot of money, and a lot of people think, man, you can build a Taj Mahal for $120 million. But we're talking commercial grade everything for a school. You got 2,000 plus or minus kids going through this school daily. And you think what that would do to your house.
Yeah.
It would fall apart in a couple of weeks. So you really have to construct something to last. And the current building is really old, and it's lasted quite well, but everything from the pipes to the wiring to the plumbing, everything's toast.
They can do what Moses Lake did. Moses Lake, for years and years and years, tried to stress on the people in the district, we need a new high school. And the Moses Lake High School was not only older than Wenatchee High School, it was considerably smaller, and they had the same enrollment as Wenatchee did. And and the people in the Moses Lake School District kept saying no, 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 no. And finally, a couple of years ago, they finally punched the ticket because they didn't really have any choice.
Yeah, and the problem is things keep getting more and more expensive. They don't get any cheaper.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back out and say, well, it's been 3 years and we're still trying to get the thing built, and now it's $150 million instead. So
the turnout was anemic. That was what really caught my eye.
It was really sad.
I mean, it's not that hard to vote.
Well, especially when it shows up in your mailbox. And all you have to do is put a stamp on it and return it.
Turnout was abysmal.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. Off my smoke. So let's get to something much better, much more important. For the last number of years, the Fallen Heroes entry in the Smoke Groves Washington State Apple Blossom Grand Parade is the moment. It's the lump in your throat, crying. Everybody stands up. It's a terribly emotional and really cool tribute. Fallen Heroes. Talk about it real quick, and we're going to show footage of what we're talking about from last year's Apple Blossom Festival Parade. Talk about Fallen Heroes and how you got involved.
Actually, I got a call from a gentleman named Brad Pertz, and he's with the Veterans Affairs Office locally, and he was looking for an athletic group, a soccer club, whatever, to help carry this thing, and I was more than happy to bring my team in at the time. We started out with just my team, and then I wanted to expand it to the club. And we saw how many of those banners were not being carried, and it just broke my heart. And so the club started doing it. Then the following year, I tried to get more and more clubs involved. You can see some of our green shirts there. And so I tried to bring baseball and football and all those groups. It's a really busy time of year, though, and it's really lots of tournaments going on, a lot of kids out of town, a lot of kids in town, but they're playing other events. The common theme is that there's still lots of banners not being carried, and it's a tragedy they're not being carried. These guys gave everything, and you can see there's a ton of them out there, and it's very, very sober moment. It's something you'll remember for the rest of your life. I came into it not knowing what to expect, and it blew me away. And the respect that the crowd gives these families. Some of the families of the soldiers on these banners are out there as well in the parade up front.
There are parents and brothers and sisters and siblings of the fallen who are carrying the banner of that family member.
Yeah, correct. And actually parents and family members or whatever will come out of the crowd sometimes and walk with us and tell us the story of it's just
Really?
2 years ago my younger son was in front of me carrying a banner, and I get choked up talking about it. Just a man came out of the crowd and he said, "Do you mind if I help you?" And then he proceeded to tell the story about his grandson and how he got the news. So it was just overwhelming.
There is an organization that has a fairly formal structure. It's based out of Spokane. This has been going on for, I want to say, 10, 12 years now. And they have these banners, and they have them in storage, and they dig them out for these kind of events. And they essentially ship one banner per carrier, right? You get a hold of them, and you say, we got X amount of people to carry the banners this year, and they send you that amount of banners. But there are a lot of banners.
There are a lot of banners,
and the more people who volunteer to carry a banner, the more banners in the parade. It's as simple as that, right?
Correct.
So we threw it up on the screen, and Kat's going to do that one more time. People say, "I'm in, Matt. I want to be a part of this entry. I want to be a part of the Fallen Heroes." They can email you at the address that you see on your screen.
Go ahead, please email me. And even if you don't email me, if you say, "Hey, I'm all in. I'd love to come help," we'd love to have you. So show up Triangle Park. We're typically located closer to the Apple Bowl.
Mm-hmm. And you're usually towards the front of the parade too, right?
Usually towards the front, usually the first 15 or so entries.
Right.
So you'll see where we're staging there. I would recommend kids older than 8 or so. You can double up on the banners. For every 6 kids, so if you're a coach out there and you have a team, you want to come join us, that's great. Bring your team. But for every 6 kids under 14, you need 1 adult.
Okay.
And there is a waiver to sign once you get there. And that's it. Come, we'll bring walking shoes. If you're on a sports team, wear your uniforms. Be proud of your team and what you're doing for the community.
There isn't a hard and fast deadline. I mean, there's going to be enough banners to go around, or is there a certain point you have to call Spokane and say, please send me this many banners, or how does that work?
We've been trying to get Brad some numbers in advance. Mm-hmm. I just texted him and said, hey, I'm going on NCW Life, and we're going to put out a plea to the community to get more people. It's been a couple hundred banners that have not been carried in the past, and I'm sure he's going to bring some extras have some buffer there in case we do get a great turnout.
I hope that you have a great turnout. I hope he brings every banner he's got, and he's got somebody to carry it.
Exactly.
For them. So I think the saddest thing, if anything, would be a truck full of banners that just are going to sit there during the Smoke Growers Grand Prix because they didn't have somebody to carry them.
Yeah.
So
true.
Let's make it happen, people. Let's talk soccer. That's your thing. Let's talk soccer. Let's talk Columbia Basin Big Nine soccer.
Yeah.
Real quickly, as you know, Matt and Sebastian Malaga called the soccer games here, the beautiful game on the NCAA Live channel. We cover Wenatchee and Eastmont home games. It's been a pretty good year for the Wenatchee Panthers. It's been an even better year for the Eastmont Wildcats. Very, very good team. Both of these soccer teams are good. This league is good. It's a good league.
It's a very good league. It's always been difficult to get through. And it's just getting better. It's crazy the changes that have happened to soccer, how much better the sport has become in the last 20 years.
Both times that Wenatchee and Eastmont played each other, we were there televising both games live right here on the NCAA Live channel. The quality of play. They were both very entertaining matches. For one thing, the one at the Apple Bowl went to the shootout.
Yep.
You know, it was just, but it was what I was impressed with was the quality of the play. You have a hard time remembering that these guys are 16, 17, and just 18 years old, but boy, can they play soccer, both of these teams.
Yeah, these guys have been playing about as long as they've been walking. And Wenatchee has some tremendous players and only 2 schools to choose from when you're that age. So they're both really dang good. They can be really fun to watch, very fast, very, very physical. And Eastmont has surprised lots of people. But they've got some players. They've got a couple of the best players in the state, the Espinoza brothers. And the combination that those two are finding on the field and scoring lots of goals is just pretty fun to watch.
As we mentioned here in the sporting broadcast, this is the last week of the regular season for all the spring sports, including boys soccer. Now, Wenatchee's season is done because of the way the schedule is set. Every soccer team in the Big Nine has a bye week. Wenatchee's happens to be the final week of the season. But Eastmont still has work to do. Handicap the playoffs. Can both of these teams, Wenatchee and Eastmont, make a deep run to the playoffs? They're good.
I think so. It's so hard to predict this league. And games, I think I've probably been wrong more often than right this year. Wenatchee's got a couple issues to straighten out. They've got some shape and some defensive question marks that they need to correct. Eastmont is looking a little better tuned and I think a little healthier at this point. It's such a physical season and game that injuries unfortunately take a toll. Wenatchee's been very deep this year on their bench and their size, so it shouldn't hurt them too bad. The guys are stepping up and are doing a fantastic job. Eastmont, let's see, they're 1-1 versus Davis, 2-0 versus Sunnyside, 1-1 versus West Valley, and 2-0 versus Wenatchee. Wenatchee.
All of those teams are good.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, they're all good. So any game, one of those teams can come out and take the other. West Valley just beat Eastmont and at West Valley. Fortunately, Eastmont will at least get a home game or two, and that's good. That's good for them.
Eastmont, I believe, has clinched the league. Have they not? They can't finish lower than first.
No, they've clinched the league.
They've already punched their ticket to a first-round bye in the districts. Wenatchee still has some work to do.
Well, there's tonight's last game, regular season game for a lot of teams. Sunnyside, Davis, West Valley, I believe. Eastmont plays home against Eisenhower tonight.
That's right.
And go Eastmont. I think they should handle Eisenhower. It's just the two teams in the league. The only 2 teams in the league are kind of not or almost give me kind of games, and the rest of them anyone can sneak through.
It's going to be exciting postseason. Matt and I talked about this off camera. This Wenatchee team reminds me a little bit of the Wenatchee team from 2 years ago. They won some games and lost some games. They were at one point, the Wenatchee Panthers of 2 years ago, a game under 500. And then something happened. And they went on a tear. They won 9 games in a row. They finished 3rd in the Big Nine. They finished 3rd in their own league. And then they won 9 games in a row and won the state championship. I see the parallels from this year's team to the team from 2 years ago.
Yeah, I do too. Wenatchee's had some diversity, just like they did a couple years back. they've really shown some good soccer. It's putting it together consistently now and going on that run. I think they kind of like being the underdog, playing that role.
I do too.
And I think that's what might have helped them a couple years back. And they're definitely going to be kind of an underdog against some of these other teams and maybe an unknown. The GSL out of Spokane is looking pretty strong. And so is the Mid-Columbia with Pasco and those guys. But Wenatchee already got past Pasco.
And they beat Central Valley, too, which is a great team.
Yep.
So we'll see. It'll be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to postseason soccer. I really am. And, of course, Dennis Tronson, the head coach of the Wenatchee high school boys team, is familiar with going deep in the state run with his job as the girls coach at Kashmir. So he's been to state championships before. He knows what he's doing.
Several of the players on the current roster were there too, and are playing great. Orlando Howe, Eric Zaldivar, Joe Celebrezi, and Jake Slife. They've all.
And Luis Navarrete.
And Luis, and Luis is kind of dinged up a little bit right now, but he's really hungry to get back in the scoring mode.
Well, let's close out our conversation, Matthew. We got about 4 minutes left. Let's throw up those photos that you brought and talk about FC.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get some notes here.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have notes.
Yeah.
There you go. What are we looking at and what are we talking about?
That would be our boys 05 team. Noe Sidio is the coach. They just won the state cup tournament. So at their age, they're the state champions. They are one of 2 teams from Wenatchee FC going to nationals.
Wow.
The other one is the McCordy B03 team, and they're down in San Diego here in July, last week in June and first week in July. So they just had a great weekend in Starfire, Redmond, Seattle area, and beat, I believe, Washington East out of Spokane for the state championship.
Wow, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Speaking of champions.
Yep, that's our B04 Zumac team, and they were finalists at State Cup, so second place in the State Cup, and they've really come on strong. Had a great year last year. One of our up-and-coming teams, and really looking forward to seeing how far they can make it.
Now, your kids can get involved, and by yours, I don't mean Matthew's. I've met Matt's kids. They're good kids, by the way. FC Select and Premier Soccer Tryouts. Walk parents through this.
Okay, yeah, so you can show up, as you see here, Foothills Middle School is where we have the tryouts. They're free. You don't have to pre-register if you don't want to. A lot of information online at wfcyouth.net, and find your birth year age. And
so it's the year you were born.
The year you were born.
So I was born in 1964, so I am ineligible.
So you're on the 64 team.
I'm on the 64 team, okay.
Their tryouts are at the senior center.
The senior center, yeah.
Yep. And show up. If you have any questions, the coaches are there. They'll ask, you can ask them whatever you want to know. And even coaches will give like demo days where you can show up to their training and just kind of, if the kids are hesitant, nervous about things, they can see what it's all about.
What can the parents expect? Because they're the ones who are going to drive the kids there and drop them off. What do you tell the parents about your organization and the tryouts? What can they expect?
First of all, the Wenatchee FC puts a lot of effort into coaching coaches. We have great policies in place. We have a fantastic, hardworking board. And I personally believe we're one of the best clubs in the state for soccer. We compete very well statewide, actually nationwide, and the kids have a blast. And everything's still in perspective too. It's not all soccer all the time. I see these coaches out there really making some great relationships with the players, with the families, giving them a lot of good leadership skills, and everything else that's offered with sports.
It's fun to see the Wenatchee Valley become a soccer community, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that, I mean, there was no high school soccer when I was in high school. In fact, there wasn't even any club soccer. And now we got kids playing soccer all over the place.
All over the place.
Thousands of them all over the valley playing soccer. It's going to make you feel good.
Yeah, it does.
So. Well, Matthew, it's good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you bet. Really quick.
Yeah, go ahead. You got about 10 seconds.
Our DOC Neil Oyson, wish him the best. He just got a job down in San Diego.
Oh, he's moving?
He's moving.
Oh, man.
And actually today he's packed up the trailer and on his way down.
I'm going to miss his accent. I really work.
Bringing in a new guy, Jostin, from Washington Rust. He's fantastic. And can't wait to see what he does.
Matthew, be good, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you Saturday at the parade, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.